तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनम कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः। भगवान श्री रामकृष्ण कोलकाता में आए हुए हैं वृषकेतु नाटक देखने के लिए। ऑन द वे परम भक्त गिरीश चंद्र घोष के मकान पर ठहरे हैं एवं भक्त प्रसंग कर रहे हैं। दिनांक 25 फरवरी 1885, 25 फरवरी 1885 बुधवार है। रविवार दक्षिणेश्वर में उनके पब्लिक सेलिब्रेशन हो चुका है। 22 फरवरी परवर्ती बुधवार यहाँ पर आए हैं। अभी यहाँ पर समाधि का बारे में कहा जा रहा है। यद्यपि समाधि हमारे आध्यात्मिक जीवन का आखिर अनुभूति है। समाधि और द एक्सटेसी इज द अल्टीमेट रियलाइजेशन ऑफ आवर स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ। He has come all the way to Kolkata on 25th February 1885 to invite the householder devotees for this grand feast of spirituality. Sri Ramakrishna was at the pinnacle of spiritual realization. God has come to earth so that man may become God. He was encouraging all his fellow human beings to fulfill their life through the realization of God. ईश्वर दर्शन ही मनुष्य जीवन का उद्देश्य है। द गोल ऑफ लाइफ इज टू सी गॉड। नाउ व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस सीइंग गॉड? हाउ डू वी सी? विद दीज आईज और विद सम अदर इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स? दिस वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. God is not seen in these eyes alone. It can be seen in these eyes, but God should be seen with our spiritual eyes. We have another dimension. As I have said, that normally we see and hear things with this physical body. That is the level of consciousness, Chetan, which we interact Now we are interacting with this physical body. When we sleep, then this physical body is switched off. And we have our Sukshma Sharir, mental body, is active during our sleeping time, and we dream. In dream also we see things not with these eyes, but with our subtle eyes. And when we go to a deep sleep, then that subtle eyes are also switched off. Then we neither see nor hear, but we remember that we are existing. We are not dead. When you go to deep sleep, we don't die. We remain alive. But we neither see or nor hear or nor do any interaction. All the organs are switched off. Normally, we travel in these three levels: conscious, subconscious, unconscious. Wakeful state, dream state, deep sleep state. These are the normal experience. The yogis claim that there is a fourth stage possible: superconscious, chetan, avachetan, achetan, and then ati chetan. Superconscious. Now, in superconscious state, another dimension opens. We see, hear, etc. through a very fine instruments of our system, and that is called Bhava Sharir. The Sthul Sharir, where we interact in the wakeful state; Sukshma Sharir, we interact in the dream state; Karan Sharir, causal body, we interact in the deep sleep state. Similarly, we have another body, spiritual body, Bhava Sharir, where we interact with God. And God is seen through that instrument, Bhava Sharir. So when we attain to that stage and we become united with God, that is called Samadhi. That is the goal of life. Now the yogis, they say that when we meditate, then our consciousness rises from the base of our spinal cord. The spinal cord, at the bottom of the spinal cord, our spiritual energy is coiled up, latent, potential, sleeping. When through sadhana, that spiritual energy, spiritual consciousness is aroused, awakened, then that energy proceeds from the bottom of the spinal cord to the top of the spinal cord in the brain, top of the head. So when that Shakti, that potential spiritual force, which was dormant so far, it is aroused, then it travels through the spinal cord gradually upwards, and finally it lands in the top of the brain. So the bottom station where it was sleeping is called Mooladhar. The name of the station, Chakra. Starting point, starting station. And destination is Sahasrar, top of the brain. So when this spiritual energy rises and reaches the top of the brain, then we say that Samadhi is complete. In between the stations, there will be different grades of spiritual realization, different varieties. Like when we travel from one station to other, and in between there are a lot of stations, and we see different things, and ultimately we go to our destination and we get down. So that is our top Sahasrar, and starting station is Muladhara. So now when we reach on the top of the brain, that is called Samadhi. As Thakur says here, Samadhi is of 10 varieties. Now why is he narrating all this? Because this is irrelevant in our life. We are not having any Samadhi. What is the use of knowing what happens? Sri Ramakrishna says it is not an irrelevant discussion. Every one of us is capable of attaining this stage. That's why he is disclosing. If it is traveling to the moon, he wouldn't have discussed. It is an achievable target. You have to understand. Realization of God is an achievable target in our life. It's not hocus pocus. In order to demonstrate how to realize God, he took a human form. He realized God first. He is God incarnate. For him, the realization of God is a misnomer. He is God himself. But he has taken this form to demonstrate, illustrate, show us, that see how a God should be realized, what is the way, what is the method. And then not only he realized, he made others to realize, so that people may not think that it is meant for him only. He says any human, there's one requirement is necessary. That is the human body. Without human body you cannot realize God. Fortunately, every one of us has a human body, and that's all. No other qualification is necessary. Neither we should be erudite scholar or rich person or having lot of tapasya, lot of capacity or that wealth, position, nothing necessary. Only human body and an intense desire to realize God. That is important. Most human beings achieve everything in life. They are very good scholars, they earn money, have recognition, and whatever they want in life, they try to achieve, except realization. This is all incomplete. The goal of our life was to reach the state where we can realize God. Till that is reached, our life is incomplete. Sri Ramakrishna is inviting us, every one of us, to complete our journey. Realize God here and now. You are capable, and He is sharing His experience with us so that we may feel encouraged. Our destination from Lucknow to Delhi, in between there are a lot of intermediary stations, Kanpur and Aligarh, and then all other stations are there. Finally, Delhi. If somebody comes from Delhi and he discloses what is happening, what is there in Delhi, you feel inspired. Similarly, the God, Sri Ramakrishna, realized everything and is disclosing that what happens, his experience for this travel. Now, fortunately, he has realized God in every possible way. So he is telling us a complete picture of that story. Now, first of all, he says there are 5 ways how the realization takes place. Now, I have told the process is travel of the Kundalini Shakti from the base of the spine to the top of the head. This is the travel within our body, nowhere else. We experience God within ourselves. We don't have to go anywhere. Now, this movement of the spiritual power has different nature, and accordingly, the samadhi has been classed. 5 varieties of movement. So first is pipili ka bat, like चींटी का जैसा like a travel of the ants. If you have watched how the ants move, you'll find they move in unison like a military soldiers. They go on here and there. They follow a march according to the streamline. Straightforward march. The ants also move like this. The first ant will lead, the remaining ants will just simply follow. It doesn't question where it is going, whether it is right or wrong, it doesn't question. Its job is to follow in unison. A straight line will go, not waver. Similarly, when our spiritual energy travels from bottom to top, that same streamlined way, that is one variety of samadhi. That is pipilika bath. The second variety is just the reverse, tirjak bath. It doesn't go straight, it goes in a curvilinear way, like the movement of a snake. You know, a snake doesn't have a spinal cord. With a spinal cord, we can stand or sit erect. If a person doesn't have a spinal cord, he cannot sit or stand erect. The snake does not have a spinal cord, she always moves in a curvilinear way. So when the Kundalini Shakti rises in a curvilinear way, that is Tirjak Bath. That is Sarpabat. That is another class of samadhi. And ultimately reaches the top. Whether it is ant or serpent movement, it reaches the top of the breath. And when it reaches, it becomes samadhi. Till then, various experiences are realized. Sri Ramakrishna is saying to encourage us so that we can have that experience in our life also. He's calling us and He's there to help us. So this life can be made more enjoyable, more fruitful, more meaningful if we realize God here and now. That is the job to be done. So this is second variety, Tijak Bath. Third is Meena Bath, like a fish. If you have seen movement of fish in an aquarium, you find that fish does not have any trajectory. It goes here and there, up and down, here and there. So with great joy, it moves. Suddenly it goes here, smiling. So like that, third variety is that the Shakti travels in up, down, here and there, so in its own way, and finally reaches the brain, like a fish, Meenabat. So 5 he said batayenge. So third is the fish. Fourth is Pakshibat, like a bird. If you have watched how the birds move in a tree, it sits somewhere, suddenly make a jump to a higher branch and sit there for some time. Then it will jump to a branch on the same height, some other place. Jumps here and there, ultimately it reaches the top of the tree. No fixed schedule, either straight or curvilinear, this just makes in its own way. Erratically, it goes here and there. That is called Pakshibat, fourth variety. Fifth variety is Kapibat, like a monkey. Monkey is very, very unpredictable. It is sitting somewhere at the bottom of the tree, suddenly makes a jump and is at the top in one go. It doesn't move here and there. Suddenly it jumps at the top of the branch. Sri Ramakrishna says sometimes the mind also moves like this. Suddenly it rises and reaches the top of the brain and have samadhi. So these are the 5 types of samadhi, what he has said. So this happens by the grace of the Lord. Is what he is saying. Now, with this, Sri Ramakrishna says, there are 5 other varieties of samadhi. Total 10. These 5 we already discussed. Now, these 5 other varieties of samadhi are: one is sadhan siddha, and second is nitya siddha. First 2. For the normal human beings, the ecstasy is achieved by continuous practice. You go on meditating, you try, and finally you reach the goal. See, after a long, painstaking endeavor, sadhana, you achieve this state. Samadhi means union of the Jiva and the Brahman, of human being and God, connection. So now, by long effort for births together, janma janmantar ke sadhan, a person ultimately reaches the goal. That is called normal journey, sadhan siddha. Sadhan is done the practice. When you study any course of study, you study hard and then you get a degree. It doesn't fall from heaven. Similarly, when a person attempts with right earnest or births together, ultimately he realizes God. It is an achievable target. That is one variety, sadhan siddha. Another variety, he says, janma siddha, nitya siddha. These persons do not do any endeavor. They becomes perfected since birth. Janma siddha, another variety. Now, they're born since this is they realized since birth. How is it possible? Who are they? He gives example. Narada, Shukdev Adi. They are examples who were born and they did not go in any austerity. They are from birth, they are with God, realized God. So what is the explanation? The explanation is when a person becomes perfected, sadhan siddha, then he need not be born again. He has no desire. So he need not be born again. He becomes free forever. Siddha means mukti lav. He becomes free from this bondage of birth and death. All of us are bound. बुरी तरह से फंस गए भाई एक जंजीर में बंधा हुआ है. We're tied with a shackle, with a chain, to be born and die over and over again. So our job is to get out of this bondage and be free forever. So that is possible when you sincerely pray to God and earnestly seek His blessings. Here in this context, we have seen that the Nitya Siddha are those who are free while from beginning. Now how is it possible? Because when a person becomes free, he need not born again. Because we are born to fulfill some desire. This person does not have any desire. He has achieved all desires. But by the will of God, sometimes these people are born to make others free. They have no purpose of being born. They do not want anything. They are free. But they are born to make others free. They are the great ones. They are the great ones. So that's why Shukdev, Narad, Adi, हमारे venerable person है. They took the sacrifice. 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 They took the sacri They took their time and energy to be born, not for any purpose of them, but to help us, to make us free. So these are called that Nitya Siddha, the eternally free. They cannot be bound. Why are we born? We are born to fulfill some desire of our life. We have some kamana vasana. We want to achieve something. We want something, some desire is there. If there is no desire, then there is no purpose of coming. Why should he come? You go to a market only when you have a list of items to be purchased. If you have nothing to purchase, why do you visit a market? We don't go. We come to this bazaar of samsara to have something of our choice. When our choice is over, fulfilled, we are through, we are totally satisfied with the realization of God, then we have no reason to come to this world except helping others. They are also Adhikarik Purush, earmarked by God to help others. They are the Nitya Siddha. They are venerable people. Ishwar Kotis, like Narendranath, Swami Vivekananda, is Nitya Siddha. He has not come to fulfill his desire. He has come to accept the sacrifice to help others. Great ones. He has taken so much of pain for us. He has no business of his own. Then there are three other varieties of Siddhas, which I will mention but elaborate in our next class. The third is Hatat Siddha. Achanak Siddha ho gaya. He had no this program of becoming Siddha. Like he says that a person can earn money by doing service. He takes a job, earns money and accumulates. This is one. Another is he owns money by heredity. He doesn't earn money. The son of a king, he owns the kingdom. He doesn't earn money. He owns by heredity. So, the person who earns money is Sadhan Siddha. He has worked hard and earned money. Another is Nitya Siddha. He earned money by birth. His father is a rich man and he owns heredity. Third person is Hatat Siddha. He is a poor man, but suddenly he gets a lottery, 1 crore rupees, 1 crore by lottery. Suddenly, windfall profit. That is another variety. Third, Hatat Siddha. Fourth is Swapna Siddha. Suddenly he sees a dream, he becomes free. And fifth is Kripa Siddha. By the grace of God, God suddenly puts a grace and he becomes free. So these varieties will be discussed later. Let us now conclude that these different types of Siddhas Sri Ramakrishna is saying in order to invite us to this great enjoyment, feast of spiritual life. We are born to enjoy life with God, not to suffer in this world. We all have our birthright, divine right, heredity to enjoy spiritual bliss in this life. Sri Ramakrishna is saying that be oriented to God and have your share of joy here and now. We'll continue further in our next Sunday class. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampadhrita vigraham bhai Ishavataram parameshamidyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namama. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Let's close the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. There are announcements. You'll be happy to learn that Swami Muktinathanandaji Maharaj came here last week and initiated as many as 72 persons, 41 male devotees and 31 female devotees. Those of you who are not yet been initiated may kindly register your name in our Mount office for the next visit of Divya Maharaj. By next year, we can accommodate you there. Secondly, tomorrow is a great day, that is 11th September. Now, on 11th September 1893, Swami Vivekananda gave his memorable lecture in Chicago World Parliament of Religion, Chicago, the first ever held World Fair in America. And Swami Vivekananda went there from India and he represented our country. So his memorable lecture is on the unity in diversity, on the harmony. It stole away the entire attention of the convention. So we will commemorate the 129th anniversary of that event tomorrow from 5:30 to 7 in the evening in this auditorium. And there will be lamp lighting, Vedic chanting, and then my keynote address, followed by the speeches by the representatives of different religions on unity in diversity. The Buddhism will be represented by Bhikkhu, that the Shanti Mitra he'll be representing that the Buddhism. He is the president, Adhyaksh of international. He is the Adhyaksha है अंतर्जातिक बौद्ध शोध संस्थान, the International Buddhistic Research Institute in the Department of Culture, Government of UP. So Bhikkhu Shanti Mitra, he is a very famous person. He has kindly agreed to come, and it will be followed by a talk by a Christian representative, that Samuel Robinson from Lucknow Christian College. And then thirdly, the Islam will be presented by Dr. Professor Mansoor Hassan, a famous cardiologist of Lucknow. And that Hinduism will be represented by Swami Nirvikalpananda, who is secretary of Ramakrishna Mission in Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. He is a very erudite scholar and speaker, prolific speaker. So, and then the original message of Swami Vivekananda delivered in Chicago will be reproduced by one of our youth members, Bikash Patel, and Hindi translation will be recounted by Samandikam and closing sung by Swami Paragananda. Full-fledged program tomorrow evening. All of you are welcome. And third announcement is next Sunday we have got Vishwakarma Puja. They will be held in our hospital workshop. So all of you are welcome. Nevertheless, our Sunday lecture will be continued next Sunday. After that we can go. Puja will continue. So my best wishes to all of you. And of course, today is the Ramnam Sankirtan in the evening, because today is the Ekadashi day. In the evening there will be youth program and guided meditation on lectures from Colombo to Almora on Swami Vivekananda. After evening Anati, Ramnam Sankirtan for today.